see whether we can rank them in terms of which one comes first and so on. So it's noted, and we'll make sure we do the ranking. In terms of the integration of climate issues into national development plans, this is actually one of the main reasons why civil society participation in processes like this is very important. Ordinarily, people from local government. So as we move forward, we learn from the whole process. So it's not really strange that Africa has low capacity. All over the world, we all do not know. So it's a process that we need to learn from. For example, as we try to finish the first global stock take, the lessons from it will actually help us to be able to build ourselves for the next. So it's going to be a learning experience all the way. In fact, even the UNFCCC guys who are actually coordinating all these things do not have all the answers. In fact, if you ask them, they will say, we are also learning too.
When you come to the assembly, you barely see an office purposely for the climate sector. So I think more advocacy is needed at that level, because the average person the layman would not think about climate, would think about education, would think about health, water, but not think about climate. So if we're doing hierarchically, it will be the last on the list. So that is where more advocacy is needed. And so I won't put much blame on government. Government is only responding to what the people need, but government should know better to know what the country needs.
Only 26 are exposed to, they are really exposed to all those processes, and 57% say that they are exposed to some of them. So this output is very important for how we are going to establish, so that the stakeholder which are engaged in such processes can contribute and make important input to how to exist peace of organization.
Talking about climate change affects everyone. That is the idea I have gotten here today, my understanding. And for that matter, I will plead with the organizers that we ensure that the sensitization cut across everywhere.
What other information on the structure would you like to share? So on the issue of language barrier that was mentioned earlier, right at the beginning of this session.
In fact, the iGST project has to do with the implementation of the Paris Agreement and how we want the civil society to be actively involved in the whole process. So we do know that the implementation of the Paris Agreement is happening at the government level. So the government, all the governments in the world are those that are engaging in the process. But the question is, how do we engage the civil society? The civil society are those who are actually on the ground and they are implementing projects. They are the ones who are actively engaging with the people who are suffering from the impact of climate change. So these are the people who are key to this process as well. Yeah, so the idea of this whole iGST project is to bring together a group of civil society organizations in the region of West Africa to contribute to the whole process of the global stocktake under the Paris Agreement. Well, in fact, the UNFCCC itself provides opportunity for the civil society to be involved in the process. But the thing is, most of the civil society do not even know the avenue that is available to them, and this is the whole essence of this project, to bring together all the civil society actors in the region, give them capacity building, show them how they can contribute to the process, and then give them the platform to contribute to the whole process of the global stock take. In fact, it's all about stakeholder engagement. So we'll be engaging the stakeholders at regular intervals. Now, as I speak right now, we have held in-country meetings in Burkina Faso, we have done in Benin, we have done in Mali, we are doing Ghana now. Later this week we will do for Senegal, and then finally we'll do for Nigeria. Now after this one, we are even going to have a bigger meeting where we are going to bring all the regional actors together in a validation workshop, and then we launch the hub into full operationalization. So there are so many regional meetings, in-country meetings coming up. As we see that there is interest in trying to get engaged in the climate agenda, but most of these civil society organizations do not know about the global stock take, which is actually the key aspect of the Paris Agreement. And that is why this project has come, to show them what they can actually do. Look, not only in implementation of projects on the ground, but also to actively engage in the global process of accountability as to what we are doing on the ground. So far we see interest there, but in terms of funding, to actually self-finance themselves to be part of the process is a problem. Yes, and we do not have a lot of funding. So if we had so many organizations that can actually self-finance themselves, to be part of the process, it would be great. But that notwithstanding, we will do our best to seek as much funding support as possible to support that everyone is involved in the process. I think I want to really invite all civil society organizations to be part of this process. Our governments are taking stock of what they are doing under the Paris Agreement. I know that most of the civil society organizations were invited, to be part of the formation of the nationally determined contributions at the country level. But this is the time, to assess ourselves after drafting the nationally determined contributions. Where are we? Are we doing well, or we are not doing well? So we are inviting the civil society organizations to come on board in such a way that we can collectively contribute to assessing our collective progress, towards the achievement of the Paris Agreement. Well, actually, it's free. It's just interest. But as long as the organization is interested and reaches out to us, yes, to WASCAL, we are the lead at the moment, but very soon we are going to have a core group that is going to lead the whole process, including some representatives from these civil society organizations. So all we need is just an email, yes, and then we'll bring you on board.
From this study, we mainly noticed that civil society organizations are not aware of the Paris Agreement and the process of global stock take, but in the same time they are highly interested to better understand these processes and to be part as an independent stakeholder. And this is the main outlet of this study. Civil society are very interested in this process, but they need capacity building to be able to contribute efficiently in this process and in such a way contribute to the achievement of the Paris Agreement objective. Okay, I think the stakeholder is mainly the stakeholder in policy space and technical and financial partners of each country. The civil society needs their support to be to build the capacity in the Paris Agreement and fighting to climate change, and then also the support to get more funds for the intervention in the field of climate mitigation and adaptation. And as we are going to establish such a platform with civil society it will be very interesting if government and financial technical partners can support this platform.
Well, we've been working behind the scenes with WASCO, yes. We have fair ideas about their projects. We've taken their questionnaires, we understand their vision, and so that's why we're here to learn and to be impacted. I think by far, with various discussions, most attention has been drawn to the fact that government is not doing enough. But I would beg to differ, because government is doing specifically what the people want. You understand? When you come to the local assemblies, when you come to the district assemblies, most of the internally generated funds, the government grants, all those things that come in already are targeted towards solving certain things that are available in the local districts. So basically, we are looking at health, we're looking at education, we're looking at building infrastructures, good roads, potable water, all those things. But then that's what the average man wants. You understand? So that is that's the need that is being met. So climate, if we are to do a hierarchy, it would basically be at the bottom. You understand? Because me, normal man, what am I going to talk about climate about and all that? So we leave that for the science people. But then we also realize that we have a core mandate towards that. When you look at the assemblies, how much attention is being paid to is there even an office for climate people, individuals that are basically there's a planning officer, there are engineers, there are all those things. You understand? Even those who are they going on field, are they working? Do they have the necessary equipment? Now they are using drones all over. Do we have? That's so expensive. You understand? Funding. Yes. No, the resources I'm saying are there, but then whether it's being allocated, there's an allocation for that. That's what I'm talking about. So instead of going to buy a drone that will cost millions and billions, they're going to use that to maybe build a school or a hospital or fix a road. You understand? Water, which the layman can relate to. This is what I want. One this, one that. They feel that. But then climate, the air, they can't see it. They don't know whether it's polluted. They don't know what's happening in the air. You understand what I'm trying to say? So it's left to the stakeholders, the various stakeholders, to educate, to create more awareness into these things, that things you don't see even are more harmful. When Ebola came, when COVID came, they were all airborne. You understand? Now we are saying the weather is too hot. This is what is causing all these things. We don't have ideas about it, but we think that these are things that are supposed to be left for very educated people. But then we must, as individuals, also have little knowledge about what is going on around us. You understand?